Okay, let's see. The next part is to learn the another Spry widgets with Spry tab panels and collapsible panels. After the previous recording, I made few changes, and this is how the page looks now. You can see I've just applied some CSS to the body of the web page. I applied the white color to the table, copyright has been added, and so on. So very minor changes I've done to my web page, and this is how it should look now. Okay. I've also added the horizontal rule to separate my footer. Simple bits and pieces here and there. Right. If we go back now and to the Dreamweaver, let me add some image here. So at the third row from the common tabs, I will simply add some image. We can pick some image from the assets folder. And that's about then college, some alternative text, and that's how I see my image. Right. The next row, we can apply some text for about us. Now we can simply add headings and paragraphs if we want to, but I will add some Spry widget for demonstration. The next widget, if I change back to Spry category, and from the list of Spry widgets, we can select Spry-Collapsible-panel. Okay. Now this widget, when you just click on it, make sure the cursor present in the correct cell in the table. Right. The moment you add, it occupies the 100% width of your cell, whatever the width you have, and it gives you one cell or one div with tab as a heading and the second div as the content. So actually you can give your heading and paragraph similar principle here, but this time we'll embed those contents using the Spry. Okay. Before we actually add, let me quickly show you how it actually works. If we're going to save this page, for this widget also, it gives you one JavaScript file and one external CSS file, so that you can modify the look of it and code. And I'll say OK and preview the page. That's how it looks. So image, that's my tab panel. On hover, it changes to dark gray, and when you click, you see what happened? By default, the panel was open, but when you hit the tab, it actually closes and collapses the second div. Now, wherever it says tab means we can actually change the heading of that panel, and wherever it says content, we can actually change as many paragraphs and images we want to display, and they will work nicely in an animated way. So if I go back to Dreamweaver, let's modify a bit of information. If I'll hit inside the tab, I can change it to about us. And wherever it says content, just highlight those information. You don't have to delete. Sometimes when you edit Spry contents through the design view, it's advisable just highlight them and paste the copied information. If you highlight and press delete on your keyboard, it might not intentionally delete some of the related JavaScripts, or some of the JavaScripts or HTML. Okay. Now, this is the only reason sometimes why Spry fails in a browser and it shows you random look. It doesn't work correctly. So if that is happening, means by mistake, unknowingly, you might have deleted something. So if something like that happens, the best thing is to delete the whole Spry, delete the related files from your Spry assets folder, and add the Spry from fresh. Okay? Please do not spend your time in finding what is the fault, because it's very difficult for you to spot the error. Because you might know The error can be in HTML, or you might have deleted some connected JavaScript. Only thing will cause you is frustration. So it's better quickly delete the whole sprite, quickly delete the file contents of it, and just add from fresh, because that will take lot less time. So redoing is easier than finding fault and again getting more frustrated. Okay, because this happens quite a lot with sprites, and this is the only advice I give, to delete all the traces of it and launch it fresh. Okay, so for a while I've just got about us text, and for the content we can go back to our folder where the files were, and that's my K drive, web 1076, Dreamweaver, activities, sets. There's about us text file. We can take as much text we want. Let me just pick a few paragraphs here. Then I can go to the Dreamweaver, and wherever it says content, you can simply Control V. And you can see in that specific div, all your contents get pasted nicely. Okay. If you want into another cell next to it, I'm going to add another Spry-Collapsible panel, same widget. This time, that name of the tab, I will change it to facilities. And where it says content, I will copy the facilities contents. Right, let's just save this. Check the preview. And you can see you have two Spry-Collapsible panels. You can close them and see their information as we want. Now this kind of organization of contents in a beautiful way, I've seen in BBC's website as well in the past, or even Yahoo's website. They have this kind of information. Here at the moment, the contents I have added are actually the text, but you can in fact add images as well. Okay, because it's a content. So the way I just pasted the text, I can simply go and see if I can dump any image in there as well. Let's see if for the facilities we can add something. Maybe about us, I can simply go and click on some common menu, insert image. We can add something from here. About us. Yeah. And then you can select the image. Either you can float it to the left using CSS, or you can simply use properties panel to align it to the left. Easy. Okay. So because that's a div, you can add any contents you want. You can embed videos, you can add any GIF file, Flash document. It just works. Beautiful. Yeah. Save this page. Check the preview. And that's how your page looks. It's quite a lot quicker and easier to manage. But the way you see this transition happening, or whenever I refresh, by default, I see both my collapsible panels open right in front of me. You can actually modify some attributes of your sprite. Now to do that, similar process, you hover your cursor on the sprite and you get the blue tab. And if I'll click on the tab for my first collapsible panel, what properties do you see in the panel? It gives you option where you can choose display open, okay, default state open. That's why both are open the moment you test them in a browser. So if I'll just close down and default state as close, by default both will be closed, and you have to click on it in order to see the contents. It's up to you how you want to manage. There's another checkbox for enable animation. Now that is because when you click, you have seen it just collapses nicely in an animated way with the JavaScript animation style. If you don't want, if you just want to open it without any effect, then uncheck that box. So let me just do a few of this on one of the collapsible panel. For the first spray, I want to keep it open and like that. But for the second spray, click on the tab. I will keep the default state closed and animation disabled. Okay. So if you save all of that, preview the page. By default, facilities are closed now. And if you click on it, it just, without any animation, it opens like that. Okay. Now this is all happening because there's .js file which is there, which is doing all these features. A good feature for your web pages. Okay. I'm going to continue because, as I said, there's not a lot for you to do in this. You have to just click and add and modify bits and pieces. I'm going to continue and show you the tabbed Spry navigation as well. Now for the tab panels, the way it's called collapsible panel means there is a concept of tab and a panel, and the panel collapse. Right? In a tab panels, you have similar concept of panels, but this time the panels will be in the vertical tabs. So that's how the meaning is. You get the panels, and the Spry will do different arrangement. For that, I'm going to save as this page, and we'll create a page for courses. Okay. I'm quickly going back to Dreamweaver and save as the current web page by the name courses.html. For the courses.html, I will modify this page. I don't want collapsible panel, so I can simply click on it and press delete. So the whole Spry disappears. Same here. Click on the panel, delete. Spry disappears. Okay. Make sure you do that for course new page, because I'm building the new page now from the save as. Image, I can simply delete, or you can see the properties. I can actually change its source. Means I can highlight the image from properties panel, click on browse for file, and swap this image with any other image you like. So I'm going to swap it with courses. Okay. Simple altercation for the courses page. In the courses page, in this particular third row, I'm going to add another Spry. So if I'll just swap my categories to Spry and scroll down, and we will highlight and click Spry tab panels. That's the one. So we have seen menu bar, we've done collapsible panel. Let's do the tab panels. Okay. As long as the cursor is in the right position, click on Spry tab panels. It gives you default menu there. And now sometimes in a design view, Spry really works quite a bit funny. You can see those tabs should be here where my cursor is, but by default, somehow in a design view, it shows it in the top left corner. Now Dreamweaver does it on its own. I don't know, sometimes Dreamweaver also works a bit funny. But that doesn't mean the Spry is not functional. Okay? As usual, let's just see the preview, how it works, and we'll alter the contents. Let me save the file. It gives me my dependent documents, CSS, JavaScript. And when I preview them, you see, here in actual browser it shows correctly. Only in design view, sometimes it plays around. But now you can see the tab panel shows the contents and the tab. But when you click on tab 2, it actually swaps the content to content 2. Means again, by copy paste, we can generate as many contents we want for each tab. And instead of in a collapsible way here, we can show them parallelly one by one. A lot of websites you will see this kind of navigation. Okay, even the website for ELAT, which I use for evening courses, which is elat.ac.uk. This is a real life example of the tab panel. Now here, that's my navigation. And the information about the courses I'm actually displaying with these tabs. Course overview, this is the content 1. Venue and dates, content 2. Course content, content 3. And achievement promise, content 4. So this is a practical example how we actually use this in commercial sites. Okay, you can add bullets, paragraphs, heading, images, as much as you want. Right. So I'm going back to my Dreamweaver, and actually you can see at the top, or you can click on the blue tab of your tab panel. Now here in the properties, it doesn't give you too many options to change. Okay, it only gives you option where you can only add the number of tabs you want. By default you get 2. In my website I've shown you I've used 4. There's no limit, you can have as many you want. And every time you add a new panel from the plus symbol, by default it will give you the contents panel attached to it. So you don't have to add separately contents panel. Okay. So for the London College courses, I will add 3 tabs, one for web designing course, graphic design and networking, and we will make a list of courses as actual contents. Okay, so just quickly to show you the contents, how it works. Tab 1, I'm going to change this text from here to web design courses. Tab 2, I'm changing to graphic design courses. You can hit the tab, you can see the tabs are renamed now, and after the second tab I can click on add panel, which gives me third panel. I can select that tab 3 and make it networking courses. Okay, now each tab, when I hover my cursor on them, you can see there's a little eye symbol which pops up on them. Do you see that? That eye is indication that you can click on it to show the contents for that particular tab. So if I want to add some information about the web designing courses, you just click on that eye and it edits and allows you to add content for that particular tab. Okay, so here for content 1, I'm simply going to add a bullet list by going into the properties, and it's an unordered list which I clicked in the properties panel here. Let me just add some courses here, HTML and CSS, enter, Dreamweaver, JavaScript, PHP, MySQL. So we got some 4 courses here. If you want, for each of these courses you can design another page, and from this list you can actually give a link from the properties panel. I'm giving a hash by default blank link, or you can select all of them, hash. Same for graphic designing course, you can select contents to unordered list, and I can make it Photoshop, Flash, Illustrator, InDesign. Can select all of them, add a blank link. And the last, networking courses, quickly content, unordered list, MCSA, CCNA, MCRTP, Linux, add a blank link. Let me save all, and And if I go to the page, there you go. That's how beautifully you can organize the contents. List of all the courses through the tab, and they can navigate by clicking on it and go to that particular website or that particular web page. You can even add additional information there. You can add additional images, timetables. You guys seen here, I've added so many different things. It's up to you how you want to organize your contents. It will give you default state. As a designer, it's your job to make it more interesting by adding contents and CSS. Okay, you can see I can change the font, I've changed the contents colors. All of that is possible for you as well because it gives you that CSS external style sheet file. Okay. Earlier, when we created the tab navigation and the horizontal menu, you can see when I click on my navigation bar, for courses, I've actually added courses.html link already. Means if I'll go to my site, my home page and courses are nicely linked. Yeah. Even these links, I've given them a default courses HTML link. So I'm using Spry navigation, plus I'm building internal contents using Spry as well. That's the homepage with the collapsible panel, and they ship courses with the tab navigation. Go back and practice that on your pages. Make sure you create 2 different pages